Hi everyone, welcome to another edition on the Away Days podcast and YouTube channel. It is me, Dino, and this is another edition of my 2 cents involving the teams that I support. Two mainly in Arsenal and the Atlanta Falcons. These are my own intakes on how both teams have performed after they've played um, their most recent game. Arsenal's currently on an international break right now with the rest of the teams around the country and around the world. Basically, they're all on their like World Cup qualifiers or whatever they're doing. So Arsenal's not involved in this. So this is going to be all about the Atlanta Falcons, who kicked off the new NFL season last night. I was gonna do this podcast the minute I got home from watching the game, but I was number one, I was tired, and two, I was still kind of aggrieved and downright disappointed in the performance of what I saw yesterday, just like many other Falcon fans out there. Went up against the Pittsburgh Steelers at home at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and we lost. We lost by 18 points to 10 in a game which no one's really going to be writing home about in regards to how both teams really performed. But Atlanta, I mean, if you looked at the numbers, you'd think that it was an even game in a sense. But what cost us was the turnovers. There was 3 turnovers in the game. 2 of them were picks. you know, I know a lot of Falcon fans are just I saw the comments in all the Falcon groups, and one of my boys actually said it as well in regards to Kirk Cousins. He just said that it's like another version of Matt Ryan, and I saw parts of that in a sense. And then other fans, why are you gonna give someone $100 million contract when he's not really throwing the ball? And others have said, why don't you start Penix? Others are saying, you know, others have just said it was just poor. It was a very poor. It was a disappointing and poor performance, if we're being honest. Um, it just feels like it just feels like it's the same old thing. Um, I mean, what more can I say? It's the Falcons. That's what we say. We're consistently inconsistent, and new regime, new quarterback, new coach, new beginnings, new chapter. But it feels like it was still the same outcome or the same things. Like just over and over again. It's just tough. It's just total frustration. Um, on the other hand, it's week one. Um, we've still got another 16 games to play. Um, but it was a very very bad game. Defense played well though. That's one thing I will say. Kept Pittsburgh out of the end zone in regards to touchdowns, but the damage was effectively done when you've got one of the best kickers in the league, kicking all the points for the team and doing very well with it. I mean, I think Boswell's first kick, his first field goal was like 57 yards. And the minute I saw that, I thought, right, if they get any more field goals, they're not gonna miss. Put that in contrast, we did score a touchdown. We just couldn't get going offensively. Defense done what they had to do. They effectively on a good couple of occasions they bailed out the offense, but it did get to a point where there's only so much you can rely on your defense, and you're going to get picked apart, and that's what happened effectively in the second half. Steelers came out. TJ Watt was in our backfield more so than anybody else. In most cases, just being a complete total menace. Can't really complain about him too much because he's actually like in one of my fantasy teams. But it was just a bad game to watch. It was very hard. It was a very hard watch. Watching how that ended. Um, but there was, but there were other signs of promise. There were promises of things that we are looking forward to seeing. Um, we just have to get things going a bit more. Like I said, on the offensive side of the ball, the offensive line needs to be a lot more tougher than what it was, because that they were getting bullied a lot when it came to being on the line of scrimmage. Um, and Kirk Cousins needs to, I mean, the second pick that he threw was just, what is it that's the, for those of you that watch Family Feud or that have seen Family Feud, there's times where Steve Harvey just says, sometimes you just got to take the X. And in this case, I have to sometimes say, Kirk, sometimes you just got to take the sack. Like, sometimes just take the hit, just go down, just get back up again, and then let's go again. We still have the ball. But nothing good comes from throwing the ball when when you're already under so much pressure. You're surrounded by linemen on both sides of the ball, so you won't have that much space to extend your arm to get the most strength out of a pass. And then you're throwing it in the midfield. It's not like you've thrown it away. You've thrown it in the middle of the field. Nothing good is coming from that. If you're under pressure by that much, you're in line for taking a pick, and that's exactly what happened. So it was very frustrating. Kirk Cousins himself said that he was disappointed. I know I don't even have to speak that many Falcons fans to know how disappointed as a fan base we are. A lot of people do actually just say that we have probably had the worst fan base in the league, but on this instance, it was just very hard. It was a very very hard watch towards the end. Got off to a bit of a good start. They came out a bit a bit more aggressive than conservative, which is good. Bijan Robinson showed a lot of good runs. He done well. We need to get Drake and Carpets into the game a lot more. We need to be more threatening with them on offense, because I don't think many teams will want to be facing Carpets and Drake London on the offensive side of the ball. That's big time threats right there. And these boys haven't really had the opportunity to show what they could do. I mean, Carpets has been with Atlanta for what now? 3-4 years now, and he's not really can really say that he's proper shown like consistently what he can do. I don't know, but there's glimpses of it. So it's we just have to, like I said yesterday to my boys, we have to take this one on the chin. We have to learn from it, because there is signs of promise. Probably more so on the defensive side of the ball, but there are signs on the offense. But there just has to be a lot more composure, a lot more in terms of concentration on fundamentals. I think if we do that, I think they'll be fine. They'll be fine. It is week 1. That being said, next week we're playing Philadelphia, and then the week after that we're playing the Chiefs, and then in week 4 we are playing New Orleans. So that's a tough few games that we've got coming up in the next few weeks. So it would have been nice to have got off to a win at least with this one. So we got going on the stats. Kirk Cousins threw 26 attempts. He had 16 catches caught for 155 yards, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Again, like I said, there were 3 turnovers in the game, and 2 of them were by picks. On the ground, Bijan got 18. He got 68 yards out of 18 attempts. His longest was 13 yards. Algier, he had 3 attempts with 21 yards. So the ground game, again, shows a promise, but we need to be more aggressive, with it. It's just crazy. McLeod 4 receives for 52 yards. Ray McLeod, sorry, he got 4 catches for 52 yards, his longest was 20 yards. Bijan caught 5 for 43 yards. Carl Pitts 3 for 26 yards. Drake London 2 catches for 15 yards. I do remember there was one play, I think it was in the third quarter, with Darnell Mooney. He had an opportunity to catch the ball, he didn't catch it. Gotta catch those balls. He was just unlucky with it. But he had one catch for 15 yards as well. Yeah, that was on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, you'd expect higher numbers. You want it to be a bit more aggressive. You want it to be a bit more adventurous. So I think when it comes to practice, I think the team's gonna know that they're gonna know that. I think Coach Morris is gonna really just say to the boys, look, this is what we need to do. Let's learn from the mistakes of what's happened in this game, and we'll go into the next one, and see what happens. But like I said, we're playing Philadelphia. It's going to be in Philadelphia. It's not going to be easy. Philadelphia themselves won their first game of the season, so it's going to be it's just not going to be an easy one. Very, very, yeah, just a very frustrating one, isn't it, guys and girls? Like I said, okay, what can we take away from it? What we can take away from it is that the defense done well. Defense kept the Steelers' offense out of the end zone, restricted them down to field goals, even though that's what that still hurt us at the end. Done very well. There's a lot of promise. I think we've all been looking for a much more explosive defense, and I think in the last couple of years we've had that. I think even last year our defense was well balanced. It was just the offense that just needed a bit of work, and again we have to say that again. Going forward, one of the main cons would be the offensive line. They were just being bullied. McGarry especially was being torn apart by TJ Watt at times, but then again it is TJ Watt, so what can you say? He effectively won the game, single-handedly won the game on his own with the last play of the game, with a game-winning sack or game-stopping sack. So again, very frustrating to see that. Just couldn't get going at all offensively, but we don't really have to do defensively. So I have a lot more faith in defense at the moment. But offensively, I think if we can get all those the rust out of there and get the concentration up, I think the Falcons would be okay. I think we've been in this situation many times before, even in seasons where we've had good winning seasons and got to the playoffs. There's been times where we've lost our first game of the season and we've come back and we've recovered and we've done well. So the signs are there. We can do it. We're more than capable of doing it, but it's just a case of getting everything in motion now, especially in a division that we are in, where all the teams really and truly, there's not really much to write home about with either four teams, but Atlanta are more than capable of winning that division. So we have to watch this space. Our next 3 games, like I said, are key. We've got Philadelphia, then the Chiefs, and then the Saints. So we have a lot of work to do to get ourselves back up and going forward. So hopefully we can get there. But like I said, this is the Falcons, and we all know how things go at times. We've all suffered as Falcon fans, so we just have to just keep hoping. There isn't really much else I could actually say. All I can say is, boys, I hope the team can just really bring it together. Hopefully they can put in a much stronger and better performance next week, and then we go from there. That's what we can go for. Like I said, our next game is next week is against the Philadelphia Eagles. It is an away game, so it's going to be very, very tough. The Eagles do actually have a very, very good record against us as well. So it looks a bit bleak, but you know the game ain't been started yet. But on any given Sunday, anything can happen. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But I will be talking about that game again with my views on it next week. Um, that will be the next Atlanta Falcons, my 2 cents. As well as the next edition, there'll be another edition of my 2 cents as well next week with Arsenal. For those who Arsenal, or for all you Arsenal fans out there, it's the big North London derby next week. Tottenham versus Arsenal, so that's going to be a good one. So I'll be doing my 2 cents for that one. So do keep a lookout for both of those when they come up on Podbean if you're listening on Podbean, or on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. I would appreciate that, guys. Yeah, just leave your comments what you think on the game. Let me know what you think of the game this week. What you think, how you think the season's going to go, especially with the next few games that we've got coming up. It would be good to hear your intake. Or get at me on the TikTok sport page of Away Days, which is Away Days Sports, AWAYDAZESPORTS. So yeah, do a search for that if you're not following already. Do check that out as well. I'll be putting some more stuff up in regards to other headlines later in the week as well. So yeah, that was just going to be my quick input in regards to the Atlanta Falcons this week. Yes, we're 0-1. The final score was Pittsburgh 18, Atlanta Falcons 10. But let's pick up for next week and let's see what we can do against the Philadelphia Eagles. So I am Dino. If you're listening on Podbean, thank you for listening. If you're on YouTube, thank you for watching. And I'll see you guys on the next one.